Assalamualaikum to all of you. My name is Syazwan. I'm the leader of this group. At the end of the video, we will learn about the creation of group bank pertama berhad based on 6 main ideas. There are, first and foremost, the definition of Rahnu itself, second, the combination of the Rahnu contract and contracting parties. Next, we shall present to you creation of mahrum as well as safekeeping fees, and last but not least, liquidation of register item. Without further ado, let's find out.
So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Afiq bin Zolkifli. Today I want to present to you about the definition of Rahnu. Firstly, what is Rahnu? Really, what is the definition of Rahnu? The basic definition of Rahnu is Islamic pawnbroking for short-term collateralized borrowing. Rahnu is also known as Rand. The development of Rahnu in Malaysia provide an alternative pawnbroking service for borrowers, which in accordance to Sharia principle. There are many type of definition. So the first definition is from Rand Exposure Draft by Ben Naser. It says that Rand refer to a contract where a party, a pledger that is Rahim, pledge an asset as collateral that is mahrum to another party. A pledger that is mutahin to fulfill an obligatory liability or obligation that is mahrum owed to the pledgee in the event of default of such obligor. So, co-op bank utama also have different meaning. So, the definition of Rahnu by co-op bank utama is Rahnu financing is financing that allows gold or jewelry to be used as collateral. The amount of financing provided to the customers is depend on the percentage determined by our government, which is the GLC, and also the type of gold or jewelry pledge. The financing in Sharia compliant and is being offered to individuals that need immediate cash. So there are two different between administrative draft and co-op bank utama. The first difference is said that asset or collateral, which means asset pledger rahim, and co-op bank utama said the jewelry or gold as collateral. So there are two different meanings. So I pass to my next translator, which is Muhammad Aiman. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Aiman bin Rodali, and in this video, I will talk about the types of contract combined with Rahnu in Co-op Pertama Bank. So the type of contract that can be combined with Rahnu are Qad, Murabaha, Tawaruk and Bai'ina, Istisna, Ijarah, Kafalah, Mudarabah, Musyarakah or Takaful. So next, we will talk about the types of contract that Co-op Bank Pertama choose to combine. So the only type of contract that Co-op Pertama choose to combine from many other type of contract is only Murabaha. So next, we will talk about the meaning of Murabaha. Based on Co-op Pertama, the meaning of Murabaha is a contract for the sale and purchase of a commodity or asset based on deferred payment by Murabaha, which is the contract's cost price plus profit margin from the seller to the buyer, followed by the commodity or asset being sold in cash to a third party, not the original seller, to obtain cash. Next, we will talk about the meaning of Ran. Based on Co-op Pertama, the meaning of Ran is a system for tying a valuable commodity to secured financing so that it can be paid with it if the secured financing cannot be satisfied. So that's all from me. Stay safe and thank you.
Thank you, Aiman. What's up, guys? Syazwan is back. In a review of Malaysia execution, the contracting parties shall be consist of a natural person known as Rahim, the pledger who wants to make a contract by pawn his or her collateral items such as gold, and an agent of Murtahin, the ones who accept the gold and at the same time offering a dealing amount borrowed to Rahim as a loan personal contract or known as a pawn holder, being under Contract Act 1950. The standard application of Co-op Bank Pertama berhad in the contracting parties is the Rahin and Murtahin Act as part of the primary of contracting common parties in order to fulfill the government requirement basis. The other condition shall be complete as required to make a legal contract is the offer and mutual acceptance must be included and pledging items as priority matter. And even better, CBP mainly allow Malaysian citizens in a range of 18 to 65 years old to be contracting parties persons that would participate. This is most probably because to mitigate issues of taxations from the pledger or Rahid itself. As the product promoted, the Arahnu contract of CBP only accepts 3 items as collateral: gold bars, jewellery made of pearls, and halugos. This would make it easier for people to apply for small-scale credit. In terms of general reference information, the pledgers will participate in pledging their gold into a contract by referring gold standard and class registration as stated below. Furthermore, CBP offers such as 70% of gold's value to be converted into debt cash, accumulated pound value not over 5,000 ringgit each person, and the most longest period in one contract is 6 months and least to extend at least another 6 additional months after if there is one of the parties is facing inconvenient issues which may not be able to handle within the first 6 months stipulation period. Well, I guess that's all from me. This presentation will be continued by our next presenter, Raudhah.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Raudhah. For my part, I will present about the condition of pledge item or as known as marhun. First of all, what is a pledge item? A pledge item is a piece of property that will be used as collateral or pledge in exchange for a monetary amount. The pledge item is subject to several criteria that were indicated in the exposure draft. Next is what is the condition of the pledge item as in exposure draft. Firstly is the promised item must be made up of actual assets that are utilized to conduct business and are Shariah compliant. The second is a Shariah compliant financial asset which can be fully Shariah compliant, referred to as a mixed financial asset, or partially Shariah compliant, known to as a Shariah compliant financial asset. Thirdly is the obligor, a third party, or both the obligor and third party must own the pledge item. If the pledger wish to pledge collateral that is entirely or partially owned by a third party, the pledger must first get the consent of the third party. If the pledger pledge an undivided asset with another third party, the asset may be pledged in proportion to the value of the pledger's ownership or as a whole if the undivided asset cannot be pledged in proportion to the value of the pledger's ownership, provided the third party's consent is obtained. Now, let's see what is the condition of pledge items stated in CBP. As in Kau Bank Pertama, the pledge items that are required from the bank are jewellery that made from gold types 999, 950, 916, 875, 835 and 750. A pledger will receive a mortgage letter as a receipt or evidence of this agreement. If there is situation such as mortgage letter is missing, a pledger must fill a form and must get approval from the Commissioner of Oaths. That's all from me. Thank you. Our next presenter will be our group member Aiman.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Aiman bin Rodali, and in this video, I will explain about safekeeping fees in Co-op Bank Pertama. So the requirement of front are applicable to an Aran contract system using Shariah endorsements, full application of Shariah compliance in the way of promoting Islamic banking characters which attach with safeguard and guarantee services, and set up the main operational intention of Aran contract procedures. So for the extra payment apart from repayment debt, Ahran abided by prohibition in Shariah compliance, but Islam developed certain rules in extra fees such as expenses in maintenance of pawn items which are better for keeping storage like mini vault and cost of safeguarding the pawn items in guarantee. So the contract offered a risk management generally based on the identification, quantifying, estimation, controlling and reporting the possible risk regardless of any conditions and circumstances. The appraisal percentage of subject matter toward the formulation for bond methodology, and the risk alleviates approaches comprehend into safekeeping consumers' interest and clear information causes collateral liquidations. CBP also promotes lower safe custody fees, so the rate of remuneration of safekeeping fees provided are as follows. The Bureau also need to complete these documents, which are identity card photostat, authenticity goal of account letter for gold bars, and custody letter under optional institution preference. So that's all from me. Stay safe and thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Zahazulfa. I would like to present my part, question 6, the liquidation of pledge item. The liquidation of the collateral must be carried out in accordance with the provision of the contracting parties agreement. The pledgee may require that the owner appoints him, his agent, or a third party to perform the liquidation procedure. Any individual who undertakes the liquidation procedure must first get the owner's permission. If a mixed financial asset is liquidated, the pledgee's duty or obligation must be satisfied. First, only the Sharia-compliant component of the mixed financial asset may be used, and the second, if the mixed financial asset cannot be separate, then proceeds may be used in their whole. The pledgee has the right to collect the proceeds of the collateral's liquidation to satisfy the obligor, liability, or obligation. If the funds from the liquidation of the collateral are insufficient to satisfy the pledgee responsibility or obligation, the balance becomes the obligor, liability, or obligation. If there are multiple collaterals, the pledgee may specify that any of them may be liquidated. Customer will receive reimbursement from CBP based on Sharia principle, with first, an early redemption or early settlement, and second, with the difference between the sale price and the actual installment payment that has been made after a maturity date has passed. Next, there are some findings that we found in this report. First, CBP clearly defines the product as a financing product that allows jewelry to be used as collateral. Second, the combination contract in Arahnu product. CBP recently changed their Sharia concept to Murabahah, that is our group. Third, in CBP, it is clearly specified as an item as a marhun, where it is stated that the item must be a quality gold. Fourth, the calculation of safekeeping fees for the CBP charge with the standard and economical price RM 0.60 cent per month. And lastly, the liquidation of a marhum, there will be a rebate in any case if customers get to settle the payment before the maturity date. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Hello guys, back to me again. It's me, Syazwan, for the conclusion part. In a nutshell, majority of the components of Rahnu in our chosen bank that were designed are consistent with the Rahnu exposure draft. However, certain of the difficulties and gaps that have been raised must be considered in order to guarantee that the practice of Rahnu bonds with the Sharia requirements and that the contract is legal. Furthermore, the practice of Rahnu differs from one institution to the next. This is most due to the lack of uniform Rahnu product legislation or regulation. Evidently, this is recommended that institutions providing Rahnu adhere rigorously to Sharia criteria and seek to promote standardization. After all, what we have learned was the great performance shown off by the management of Coop Bank Pertama Berhad so far, isn't it? Now, we have come to the end. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum.